And, well, Plominski has got a big job in his hand. He's 22, the pole. He got a silver medal in the under-23 championships at Rachice, I think in 2021. So he's a really talented sculler, as we can see by the fact he's in the final. But this man, Ollie Zeidler, is something else. The reigning world champion, who blew the field apart again on the course at Rachice in 2022. Didn't have such a good European Championships. But before that, he won the first World Cup in Zagreb. He said he's going to do all 3 World Cups and Henley, and of course he raced in the Europeans. So he's going to Lucerne next week, and this is part of his preparation.
Attention!
I think he is likely to blow the pole away, and Plominski will know that Zeidler will go off quickly. Look at how Plominski on the right of the picture has gone off, Andrea.
It was a rate of striking going nice and high. He knows that he's going to need to stay in contention here in the single. Single is such a tough boat to race. All of your failures are your own, but all of your successes are your own. And it looks like the Polish, yes, is being warned back into their side of the station.
I would expect Ollie Zeidler to be up now, but he's not up by much. And, you know, maybe Plominski has seen what happened to his countrywoman Marta Bielsko, who lost the Princess Royal against Dimchenko of Azerbaijan. The world champion Polish men's quad knocked out in the final by the British in a fantastic race. And Plominski's decided, this is my day. And do you know what? He's absolutely making a great fist of it. Coached by Robert Sich, the lightweight double sculls world champion from Poland. But Zeidler just moving easily away now, Andrea.
Yeah, Peter did a great job on, really controlled the race in very difficult conditions on Friday against the Australian. Was very impressed with his sculling. And I think that you're right, he's knows that he needs to go off nice and high and stay in contention here. But now the real work is starting as these athletes shift down from their starting rate into the middle 1,000, and look at that change.
Yeah, that's a clear water lead for the German. And really, you are looking at one of the greats in world sculling. He's only won the Diamonds twice. You know, you think of the great names in the Diamond single sculls. The Australian in the 60s, Stuart McKenzie, won it 6 times. Mahe Drysdale won it 6 times. My mind is that Ollie Zeidler wants to put his name 6 times on this trophy like those greats. He loves Henley. He comes here to practice in the challenging water conditions. He comes here with his grandfather, the Olympic gold medalist in Coxforce from the 72 games, Johannes Farbe. I saw him carrying his blades out. Ollie looked pretty relaxed when he put his boat on the water this afternoon. He's up high with the rating. He likes that. Little wash there. There's a little, I guess, bubbling in the surface of the water that's just making things difficult. The wind is blowing everything around in our commentary position.
And we've had all sorts of weather conditions throughout the past few days, haven't we, Martin? From a ripping tailwind and record-setting conditions to swirls. Looking like it's calmed down a little bit from this morning.
So a look from Piotr Plominski, looking very smooth, very relaxed. He graduated from an aviation high school, all things to do with planes. That's what he's interested in. He's now studying accounting at the university in Bydgoszcz, which is where a lot of Polish rowing goes on. And this is a big, big day for him. In the final of the Diamonds, it's a day that the pole will never forget, as he goes through the ducks on the surface of the water. Ollie Zeidler, I wonder if he'll have one mind on Lucerne in a week's time with, you know, all the world's top scullers there. How much energy does he want to expend to win this Diamond Sculls?
And that's a great question. That's where technique comes down, right? If you're in front and you can control the race. I'm sure that we're going to see a little sprint at the end there to come through and give the crowd something to watch. But right now, you're right. He looks so calm, cool, and collected. Those blades going in fairly level and then pushing through, using that large frame that he has to the best of his advantage.
So the story of Zeidler was he burst on the rowing scene in 2018 at the World Cup in Belgrade, where he took a bronze medal. He was a swimmer originally, got a silver in, I think, the Europeans, 4 times 100 meters. That by 2019 he was world champion. Then when the Olympics came in 21, he missed the final, and the water was pretty tricky on the waterway there in Tokyo. So Ollie has decided that he wants to be a sculler in rough water, and he wants to go and search out the rough water, which is pretty cool. So he sculls at Henley, he trains in rough water on his own course in Munich. The German Championships in Brandenburg, which he won, was very tricky water. And, you know, the young lad is getting better and better in the way he handles rough water. And the 26-year-old will go with renewed confidence to the Lucerne World Cup in a week's time after this result.
Letting that lumpy kind of wash go underneath the water. It's almost like riding a horse. You have to make sure that you're keeping your upper body nice and level, nice and relaxed. The more rough the water becomes, and nice to see him continuing to try on that as an athlete, elite or otherwise. This is what you have to do. You need to do gap analysis. What are your weaknesses and how can you address them? And I can confirm Tokyo was pretty rough.
So how does it feel? You've raced in a single here in that water. Does it feel uncomfortable, or you mind just in the race that you don't worry about the conditions?
So when I came here and I competed, I went from the largest boat, so the 8, quarantined for 6 days, and then jumped into a single, had a great first 1,000 and a pretty rough second 1,000. It's a long way in a single either way, not just because it's over 2K, but also with the current as well. It really is heavy, so you're rowing it kind of like you're rowing into a headwind. That means lots of nice strong quads, staying nice and loose. And yeah, just conserving your energy, being able to check in and understand, okay, have I gone too hard? And how many gears do I have left?
So Ollie Zeidler, of course, his main focus is qualifying for Paris. He's got to get in the top 9 of the World Championships later on this year in Belgrade, Serbia. But I guess he's out to win the gold medal. Plominski, well, he's got a real challenge to get in the top 9. He's kind of around about top 12, really. He won the C final, which was 13th in the Europeans. And obviously this is a really important part of his season, the Polish sculler. Loving the rings on the back of Ollie Zeidler's back there, Andrea.
Yes, and you can also see his boat club as well. That's the Frankfurter Rudergesellschaft Germania 1869 eingetragene Verein from Germany there. Of course, next time we see him, though, he'll be wearing the German unisuit.
He will, and German rowing not having the greatest of times at the moment. The men's 8, not exactly. They got a bronze medal in Varese, but they're not exactly hitting the highlights that we're used to seeing. So Ollie Zeidler, I guess together with the sculler Alexandra Foster, really bearing the banner for German team at the moment. So this is the final, the closing stages of the final of the Diamond Challenge Sculls. Ollie Zeidler in shot is coming up to the finish for his 3rd Diamonds title. He is racing Petr Plominski of Poland, who is some distance behind. But Ollie Zeidler soaks up the applause of the packed enclosures. This is truly world-class sculling. He's going to wind down just gently as he crosses the line. It might be an easily verdict, but I think Plominski will come in probably about 5 lengths or so behind. Zeidler just eases across the line. Surely the best sculler in the world at the moment on his day. And Ollie Zeidler from Frankfurt Rudergesellschaft crosses the line. 3rd Diamonds, 3 more to go, Ollie. And Petr Plominski comes up to the line. And you'll see when Plominski crosses the line that the camaraderie of the single sculler, there's just confirmation. Zeidler beat Plominski in the final of the Diamonds. But you see Zeidler there just gesturing, and single scullers have a really fantastic camaraderie, don't they, Andrea?
It's a small club, and so you get to know everyone really well. That's great to see. I mean, these two will probably run into each other in the next few races, and that's what this is all about, is that camaraderie. We talked about it earlier. You know, a job well done to your competition, and see you next time.
Yeah, it's not so much the hollering and shouting that you see in the bigger boats. It's kind of just a small gesture, job done. He's going on to the prize giving and then packing his boat up for the Lucerne Regatta next week.